Hello and welcome to Genius Indian. Friends, today we are going to discuss Gresham's law. This law operates within the confines of economics and it is a monetary principle which claims that bad money drives out good money, which claims that an inferior form of money temporarily pushes out the superior form of money, which in modern parlance simply means fake currency notes drive out the original ones from the market. So, according to Gresham's law, if you received a bad or a fake note from somebody, you will obviously try to get rid of it as fast as possible. And if you had to go shopping, you will obviously try to keep the original banknotes in your pocket and first try to spend the fake notes. Now, suppose millions of people somehow ended up with the fake currency notes. Then, in that case, they will do exactly what you did. They will do exactly what Gresham suggested. They will hide the good or the original notes and first try to use the fake notes, which will simply prove the Gresham's law. The fake notes will drive the original or the good notes out of the market.
However, as you know, the paper currencies have become common since last about 2 centuries. Prior to that, money meant coins, and a couple of 100 years back, coins were generally minted out of gold or silver. And at that time, a coin was considered a good coin or good money if it contained the amount of gold matching the nominal value or the face value of the coin. So, if a gold coin came with a face value of $50, and if it actually contained gold worth $50, then that would be considered a good coin. On the other hand, if a copper coin is having the face value of $50, then that would be considered inferior money, simply because its copper metal can never be sold in the commodity market for $50. If the face value is $50, but it contains gold worth only $25, or if it is made out of copper or nickel, then in that case it will be considered a inferior money or a bad money. For example, take this coin. This one has a face value of $50, but considering it to be a 1 ounce gold coin, its commodity value is at least $1,400. That means way above than its nominal value or face value, and that makes this coin a fantastic currency, which is also a reason why nobody will return it to the market. The law was named after Sir Thomas Gresham, a 16th century financial agent of the English crown in the Belgian city of Antwerp. The same Antwerp which is the global trading center for diamonds, and the same Antwerp which is the home to Gujarati and Marwari diamond traders from Palanpur and Surat. And in Gresham's day, bad money simply meant any coin that had been debased. Surprisingly, this debasement was often done by the king himself or by the mint controlled by him. And the usual modus operandi was to issue the coins containing less precious metal than what was supposed to be there. Most often, the precious metals were alloyed with a base metal, and most often the king did it to meet the fiscal deficit or to finance the wars or to build some palace for himself or for one of his concubines. However, some kings were so corrupt that they would clip the coins lying in their treasury. Clipping the coins all along the edges would result in the coin having less precious metal than the face value. But we have a saying in India, Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. As the king, so the subjects. So, later on, even the general public began debasing the coin, usually by clipping or scraping off small portions of the precious metal. But this was usually identifiable. So, the smart crooks debased the coins by sweating, a process of placing coins in a bag and shaking them vigorously. The bits of metal that had worn off the coins were recovered from the bottom of the bag. Sweating tended to wear out the coin in a more natural way than clipping, and so it was harder to detect. Over a period of time, coin debasement became so widespread that ultimately the authorities were forced to act. By year 1275, coin clipping had been elevated to the status of capital crime. For women, the punishment was to be burnt at the stake, and for a man, it was being hung, drawn, and quartered. the accused was first hung from a rope, then drawn over a pulley mechanism, and finally his arms and legs were chopped off. And often his severed head was hung from the bridge over Thames River in order to send a stronger message to other coin debasers. It was this widespread clipping that led to the invention of reeded edges on the coins, and it was designed to make clipping evident. And it was invented by none other than Sir Isaac Newton, who was appointed the Master of Mint in year 1699. In our country, Muhammad bin Tughlaq once debased his own currency. Around year 1330, when he was not able to maintain the supply of his gold and silver coins, the dinars and the adlis, he replaced them with copper and brass coins, which had the same face value as that of gold and silver coins. In this manner, not only he debased his own currency, he also committed two additional mistakes. First, he made the mistake of making coin designs too simple and too easy to copy, and second, he failed to prevent people from minting fakes. As a result of all this, every goldsmith in Delhi began minting fake coins at home, and soon the news spread, and everybody came to know that many Delhi coins were neither made of gold and silver, nor they were originally minted by the ruler. As a result, Gresham's law kicked in, and everybody began hiding real gold and silver coins and began dealing with copper coins and fake coins. As a result, the entire market system collapsed and the trade became difficult. Due to this, the traders from other countries stopped dealing with Delhi kingdom. Consequently, Tughlaq lost most of his empire. So friends, this was a brief discussion on Gresham's law. In the next episode, I will be discussing some other topic, a topic that improves our understanding of the world, and a topic that helps us realize our true potential. So please don't miss it. And the best way not to miss it is to subscribe to Genius Indian channel. And the best way to spread this knowledge is to like and share the video. And the best way to help me improve the quality of my work is to provide your valuable feedback. And finally, the best way to end this conversation is to tell you thanks for watching.